Welcome to the main event. I be your host, Main Event Fro. We're about to talk about what went down on NXT. Subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about it.
It's time for the main event.
Now the show kicks off. We get the bracket for the tournament to crown a new women's NXT champion or NXT women's champion. Tiffany Stratton versus Gigi, Roxanne Perez versus Jason James, Lyra Valkyrie versus Kiana James, Bailey Henley versus Cora Jade, which Tiffany Stratton got the win tonight over Gigi. Lyra Valkyrie got the win over Kiana James tonight. And we'll get the next two matches next week. But let's talk about what went down on the card though. Gallus versus Diaz. Diaz been asking for their release. Gallus picks up the win, so I'm pretty sure the Diaz about to get their release. We'll talk about that later. Bernal versus Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson gets the win. Eddie Thorpe versus Damian Kemp. Eddie Thorpe gets the win. Now Dragunov versus Dijak, a hard-hitting match. These guys crushing each other, and the feud is not over. Dijak loses the match on purpose. He gets disqualified for using a chair on Dragunov. And at the end of the match, he crushes Dragunov's head with the steel steps. Next match, we got Charlie Dempsey versus Tyler Bates. Joe Gacy interferes. Charlie picks up the win, and that's what it looks like Joe Gacy's mission was. Abel kept saying he has a mission to complete. So Joe Gacy's mission is to recruit Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak to the Skills. I think the Diaz are really gonna be released, and that's their replacement. And I think, hey, this gonna be a hard-hitting team. And if done right, these three guys or the four roots to the tree will advance to top level. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Charlie Dempsey, Joe Gacy, Drew Gulak, and Abel. What y'all think about that, man? We get Briggs and Jensen defeating Hank and Tank, and Briggs and Jensen, they look like they're going heel. And I like to see a heel run from them guys. Trick Williams versus Brian Breaker. I didn't think that Trick was going to get that many hits off Brian Breaker, but Trick looked good in this match, better than he ever looked. So that was a major match for Trick, like he said, but Brian Breaker ended up catching the win. Continues to beat up Trick after the match. Carmelo Hayes comes out for the save, and he gets smashed up by Brian Breaker again. Man, NXT looking pretty good right now, man. But let's talk about the Women's Championship in the tournament. So we do got Tiffany Stratton and Lyra Valkyrie advancing. Next week we get Roxanne Perez versus Jason James and Fallon versus Cora Jade, which we already can see now that Roxanne is going to beat Jason, and that's going to take Jason to continue her feud with Gigi. Hopefully it ends at Battleground. Bailey Henley will be defeated by Cora Jade, which continues the feud with Cora and Roxanne Perez, right? So we gonna see though, man. It looking pretty good. But who would y'all like to see be the next women's NXT champion? I'm going for Tiffany Stratton on this one. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be the main event, and I'll catch y'all in the next main event.